This is Dr. Steve.
In depth now, remember those New Year's resolutions you promised to keep? Have you kept them? Well, we all start out with good intentions, and among the top New Year's resolutions are, of course, to lose weight, to start exercising, and to stop smoking. But check out these statistics. 75% of you guys made it past week 1. Only 71% of you made it past week 2. And by this weekend, only about 64% of you will still be holding true to yourselves. Now, for those of you who've made it this far, don't get too cocky. After 6 months, less than half of you are still going to be holding on to that resolution. But don't worry. You can still get back on track. And here with a simple solution is Dr. Michael Woody. He's the author of the U Plan. Dr. Woody, thanks so much for coming in. Appreciate it.
It's great to be here.
All right, so a lot of people have gotten off track, and they're upset.
Right.
But you say you have some tips. One of the ones right off the top you say is go big, just don't go crazy. What do you mean by that?
Well, here's the thing, and as we get into the new year, we're about a month into it. What I want people to do is step back and start thinking about, all right, how do I reset? Because as you pointed out, we make our New Year's resolutions with good intentions, but inevitably we fall off the wagon. So I'm a big believer in making stretch goals and stretching yourself, but make sure you stretch with purpose. And by that I mean step back and make sure you set clear and defined goals and have a destination or an endpoint that you can reach.
Right, because you shouldn't be down on yourself because so many people fail. So give yourself a break. It's okay. Tomorrow's another day and you can start. Or another tip you have, you say GPS it. What do you mean by that? I know you don't mean like global positioning satellite.
Well, in a sense I do, right? And the idea is, because that's the modern day roadmap, and I like to talk about it as road mapping. So, it's one thing to have that destination, but it's another thing to figure out how you're actually going to get there. And remember this, no one person's path is going to be the same as another. So you and I may have the same destination, but go a different way to get there. So what I want people to do is step back and set simple goals. Start with weekly goals, monthly goals, and quarterly goals, so you can start thinking about what are those little chunks of achievements you can get, so it starts to motivate you as you progress along. And you got to be able to track progress.
Right. I think that's part of the problem. I think what happens is people go, you know what, this year I'm going to lose weight, but they don't really sit down and come up with a plan like you're saying. Chart out a course and give yourself those little goals of encouragement. It's so important. Okay, the last tip you say, hold a press conference. Okay.
Yeah, and now this may sound a little over the top for some people, but the idea is this, is you want to hold yourself accountable, and the best way to do it is hold yourself accountable to others. So in other words, go public. And a great example of this was when Senator Claire McCaskill actually went public with her weight loss goals on Twitter. So she had an entire following of people holding her accountable to her goals, because you don't want to be shamed in public. So get your friends involved and let them know.
Yeah, there's shame, and then there's also the support, which is a great thing, right? So they can encourage you along the way. Dr. Woody, really appreciate it. Some great tips. Appreciate you coming in.